Good afternoon, everybody. It's time for Sulphur Golden Tour football as New Iberia will kick it off. It will bounce over the head of Walker. He'll pick it up, and he's in big trouble as we get the game started. The Golden Tours will be in a hole. 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. Sulphur comes in at 2-2 on the year, 1-2 in district play. New Iberia is at 4-2. They are 1-2 in district play. Pretty good New Iberia football team. They have got a lot of size on the lines. It's going to be a tough job for the Golden Tour offensive line to try to make holes for Tag Stelly and keep the Yellow Jackets off of Jacob Clark. Stelly leads the Golden Tours in rushing, 241 yards as he lines up in the backfield. 3 receivers go out to the right, or actually to the left. Stelly will get it, and he will be brought down for no gain on the play. One of those big linemen up front is Michael Akins, who brings him down. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up for the Tours. New Iberia with a couple of losses to Acadiana, 47-10, and Lafayette 7-0. They have beaten Westgate, Franklinton, Donaldsonville, and Como last week, 49-0. Their only district win against Southside, but district standings and all of that are meaningless this year. You don't have to win the district title to get the guaranteed playoff spot, or at least that's not going to be allowed this year. On 2nd and 10, Stelly in the shotgun with the snap. Got time, pulls the ball down, rolls near side, got 2 men wide open, and he gets a one-handed catch out of the backfield from Tag Stelly. Stelly was wide open along with Jack Boney, and he had his pick of receivers, and it's first down Sulphur.
Well, as we talked about, Bruce, the Sulphur offense definitely needs to get Tag Stelly. There's 3 of them: Tag Stelly, Gavin Elliott, and Walker. They'll look to get those 3 guys involved in the offensive game plan very quickly here.
1st and 10 out at the 28-yard line for the Golden Tours. Clark will keep it and will get nothing. In fact, he'll lose a yard back to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it's a great job there by the defensive line, realizing that the quarterback still had the ball. Be interested to see if we see a little bit more of Jacob running the ball early here in the ball game. We thought that's something that they could get away with in some of the other ball games, and if they're able to, I think it'll help open up their offense.
2nd and 11, the guy making the tackle is not on my list, number 61. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Stelly in the backfield with Clark. Send a man in motion. That's Walker. They'll dump it off to Stelly on a screen to the 30, 35, and he'll be close to the first down. I'm going to mark him right at the 38-yard line, and that might be the line to gain. And it is another first down for Sulphur.
They'll get a first down there. I thought if he had cut that ball back up inside, looked like he had another good 5 to 10 yards minimum there, but did just enough to get the first down and keep the sticks moving.
2 receivers come out here to the right, along with the wingman, the receiver to the left. On first down from the 38-yard line. Stelly will get the football this time and will pick up a couple of yards and bring up a 2nd and 8. That gets the first positive running yardage for the Tours here in this this possession. Started back at their 13.
You know, Bruce, this might be one of the bigger defensive lines we've seen so far this year. So far in this first possession, they've done a good job of keeping Stelly and Clark bottled up on the running plays.
Well, they shut out Como last week. 2nd and 8 from the 40. Clark with the football. Here comes pressure, and he's going to go down. They were sending the blitz. Devin Landry wraps him up.
Yeah, they simply sent more defenders that time than what we had blockers in there, and we weren't prepared for that blitz at all. He came off of the near side corner, kind of just disguised it a little bit, and Clark just never had a chance once he got the snap.
He was Landry came in untouched. So now it's 3rd and 15 back at the 34-yard line, 3rd and 14 back at the 34.
And that's another nice job, 2nd and long there for the defense. That's the first play so far we've seen tonight of them send any pressure. So it was picked the right time by the defensive coordinator for New Iberia.
2 receivers go left, 1 out here to the near side. And Clark to throw. The screen again. This time they're all over it. Elliott makes the catch, but he will be dropped for No gain on the play, so 4th down. The Tours will have to punt it away. This is going to be an interesting adventure today, too. We got a pretty good breeze blowing out of the south, so it's blowing right in the face of Baudouin as he sets up to punt inside his own 25-yard line. One man back deep is Tice Fugile for New Iberia.
Yeah, not only that, Bruce, but that stiff south wind,
Yep.
also could make a difference on the snaps.
This one is good. Some pressure. It's a low line drive kick. It's going to take a little bit of a Sulphur roll, and now a little bit better. And it's down at the 30-yard line. That might be the way you get around the wind, is you're going to have to kick it low like that.
Yeah, and he did a great job of even getting that kick off, though, because for a minute there I thought it was going to be blocked.
Pressure was coming. 8:01 to go in the first quarter. First possession for New Iberia starts at their 31-yard line. They've got a pretty good running game here. Everybody in tight, no receivers out wide. Quarterback is up under center. Motion man will get the football, and this is the guy you got to watch for. He goes out of bounds. It's Markel Linzer. He's got the first down. Linzer is the man who carries the ball the most. Alvin George III also in the backfield for New Iberia. The quarterback.
Well, it was interesting off that play, Bruce. They ran that him off. He was in the H-back position. Actually, wasn't in the backfield in a traditional set. He was at that H-back.
They'll run the same play coming to the near side, and the Golden Tours wrap that up pretty fast.
It was a nice job right there by number 6, Tyler Massey. Defensive back was able to keep the edge right there and was able to fend off a blocker and make a tackle for a 1-yard gain.
Tice Fugile on the carry. The quarterback is number 12, Kristen Walker, a sophomore. So I had to do a double take. They've got a junior quarterback on the roster, but the sophomore gets the start. Up under center, one man in the backfield with it. One receiver this time out here to the near side, 2nd and 9. They'll give it to the big man up the middle, and he rumbles for the first down into Sulphur territory, still on his feet. Alvin George III. And he's going to pick up good yardage, first down, and the Tour is down.
Bruce, he's a healthy young man, too, that number 9.
Yeah.
Looks like number 4, Ethan Arsamon, is down for the Golden Tours. He was in on the tackle right there. And like I said, number 9 for New Iberia, Alvin George, is definitely a load. I mean, he's probably 220, 230, and just kind of got a head of steam going right there.
Yeah, he and Linzer do a lot of the running for New Iberia. It's a very good offensive team. They scored 59 against Franklinton.
Well, and up to this point, what they've run 3-4 plays, they haven't lined a wide receiver up at all. Double tight end, double H-back with a single man in the backfield.
They tend to Arsamon on the far side of the field. Possibly the final home game for the Tours will be in Shreveport next Friday night, as they are scheduled to take on Evangel.
A very
0-7.
Yeah, yes. Very uncharacteristic record for that Evangel team.
They've been shut out a couple of times.
Well, I know from talking a little bit to Coach Tower this week, while he was pleased with the defensive performance last week from a points given up standpoint, yardage allowed standpoint, he wasn't real pleased with that. So Tours defense has kind of been a bend but don't break defense last couple of games. And on this first drive, New Iberia's had some success. But now down inside looks like right at the 33-yard line, we'll look to see if this defense doesn't tighten up a little bit.
It's 1st and 10, a very big offensive line also for New Iberia. And they love to run behind it. Walker up under center.
There's a wide receiver, Bruce.
Yeah. He's probably there just for decoration.
Be like them little Acadiana wide receivers.
Yes. They will hand this off to George. George cuts to the near side to the 25, 20, 15, cuts it back inside and is pushed out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. And it's 1st and goal to go, New Iberia.
It's pushed out of bounds there by number 23, Michael Johnson, and number 1, Daniel Burton. He had New Iberia running back had a nice cut at about the 25-yard line and kind of pop it outside the hash marks. And caught the Sulphur defense all inside the hash marks and was able to get a nice gain down, like you said, just inside the 10-yard line, where to be first and goal with 6:50 to go here in the first quarter of a scoreless game.
George in the backfield. Pretty much the only man back there behind Walker. In motion goes Markel. He will cut it up on the right side, and he will get it into the end zone. Linzer from 9 yards out. It's an interesting offense. You're talking about Acadiana. There's a lot of stuff going on in the backfield, and there's a big lineman. You can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem for Sulphur. He's trying to figure out who's got the football.
Well, you know, what's been impressive on that first drive for New Iberia as well, Linzer's a very patient runner. So he doesn't overrun his blocks. He waits for his holes to open up, and Sulphur's going to have to do a better job here as the game goes on of filling up those holes.
Extra point from John Langlanay is good, and 6:43 to go in the first quarter. And New Iberia with their first possession goes 69 yards, and it's 7-0. New Iberia.
Bruce, when you win the opening coin toss and you defer, I think that's the exact script that you're hoping for. New Iberia defense got the Sulphur offense off the field pretty quickly, and somewhat made Sulphur punt into the wind, and was able to get decent field position at about their own 30-yard line to start their drive, and a couple of big runs, and didn't see a pass at all on that drive.
I was just thinking, I don't think we saw a third down.
No.
Linzer or Langlanay, that is, will tee it up on the South 40, or he'll have the win at his back. Of course, that means the Tours will have it in the second and fourth quarter, but you got to figure out how to get the offense going and how to stop theirs. Sulphur comes in 29th place in the power ratings. New Iberia at 15, so this would be a great win for Sulphur. You're not going to pick up much of anything if you beat Evangel. High and short, taken at the 18-yard line to the 25. This is Elliott, and that's as far as he'll go, the 27. And it'll be first down coming up for Sulphur. Much better than the opening kickoff that bounced over the head of Walker, and he had to go back to get it inside the 10. So much better starting field position for Sulphur.
I don't even see Kyle.
The 1st and 10 Sulphur. Porter back in the ball game for the first time since that South Side we saw him.
Oh, yeah. Says he provides a little spark here for the offense. This is a little earlier. He's back a little earlier than what they were expecting him.
He will get the football, sweeping near side, nothing there but big white shirts. Loss will go all the way back to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're doing on the defensive line there, but our offensive line is just having last couple of plays has had a ton of trouble picking up that. I don't know if they're just slanting one way, but we've had a lot of trouble right there. There were 3 defensive linemen in the backfield and only one blocker anywhere near them.
So it's 2nd and 15 all the way back at the 22-yard line now. New Iberia leads at 7-0 here under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Clark to throw. This is where he's had success when he's been able to throw. Second sack as he goes down in the hands of Mason Cummings back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, he had Gavin Elliott trying to work open on a deep post pattern, but problem with that deep post pattern is it takes a little bit extra time, and right about the time he went to put it up in the air, the defensive lineman was right in front of his face, and rather than risk a potential fumble right there, he decided to tuck it and just had to take a loss there on the sack.
3rd and 22. Yeah, got to get it out to the 37-yard line.
Not much in your playbook for 3rd and 22. No. Let's see what they got.
Screen. A run to Porter, and he'll get a couple. He was leveled by Marcus Shaw.
Number 11, Marcus Shaw, senior linebacker. He's been very active on defense and on special. I saw him at the end of that kickoff last time. He kind of got a little skirmish with one of the Sulphur return men, and he's bringing a little bad attitude today.
Baudouin to kick into the wind. It's died down a hair, but not much. From his own 18-yard line is where they will snap it. It's a good snap. Again, pressure coming. This should take a good Sulphur roll, and it will. Usually it'll get out of the way, and this one will go all the way to the 32-yard line. So,
yeah, fortunately for Sulphur, that ball hit it about the 45, but instead of kicking directly south, it took a little hop to the side, and when it took that hop to the side, the New Iberia return man wasn't able to get in front of it.
4:18 to go, first quarter. New Iberia leads at 7-0. They will start from their own 32-yard line. Their first drive went 69 yards. This one starts 1 yard further down the field, or closer, I guess. One wide receiver out here to the left side. They're going to hand it off quickly to George, and the last man who could stop him grabs him. But he will still get it out to midfield. Who saves that tackle?
It was a safety number
29. Yeah, Stelly.
29, Grayson Stelly. Yeah. So Stelly's moved actually over to a safety position this week. In the past has been a cornerback, but if New Iberia isn't going to throw the ball, then they're able to move one of their cornerbacks in at safety.
They just have the one receiver out here to the left. They're going to hand it off again to George, this time just 5 yards.
Grayson Stelly then leading the tacklers, as well as Hugo Perez, number 32.
Well, 2nd and 5 coming up from the Sulphur 45-yard line.
You know, Bruce, he's such a load that if he breaks the initial line of scrimmage, he's going to gain 2, 3, 4 yards on every carry. He's just a big guy to bring down.
Yet he's so much bigger than Stelly. You know, good job by Grayson to.
Well, interesting here. New Iberia literally is coming out now. Every play the same set.
Yep. A double reverse, and this is gone. The speed of Fugelaire as he turns it on at about the 30-yard line. Only one other tore back there, and he just outran him. And it's 13-0 New Iberia. Wow.
Well, that's what happens, you know, when you keep going to that same play, and then as soon as the defense just cheats over just a hair, they'll run that reverse or a little misdirection. You can kind of both in the same play right there. And when he misdirects and cuts it back up the middle, there's just no one left there.
He handed it off to Linzer, who handed it off to Fugelaire, and is gone. Here's Langlanet once again. Not a great snap, but it's held perfectly. And it's now 14-0. New Iberia on top with 3:08 to go here in the first quarter. And a 69 and a 68-yard drive. Still no third down plays for New Iberia in this one.
Kyle, the Golden Tours look a little flat to start the game. Have you noticed anything on the sidelines?
Yeah, I've got my radar up, looking for any bit of enthusiasm. Somebody stepping on me and telling me to let go. I see it right now, and hopefully have a nice motivational speech in the future.
Well, the Golden Tours need to get something going on this possession. They're down 14-0.
Yeah, guys, right now, Tor's looking a little bit flatter than we'd like to see him, especially coming into a homecoming game. New Iberia is absolutely dominating both sides of the ball physically. As you can tell by the score, 14-0. They haven't really quite adjusted, or it just kind of picked it up a notch. So looking for some enthusiasm, hopefully anytime soon, obviously. But as you can see, they're definitely in a battle with New Iberia right now. Trying to get a report for number 4. His arm's in a sling, and hopefully report back to that later.
Walker on the return had a nice hold. They managed to get it out to the 31-yard line. So first down for the Tours.
Yeah, Sulphur's going to need something positive to happen here on this drive. They're down 14-0 early in the ball game with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and really haven't had any. The last drive, I think all 3 plays were, for the most part, well, first and second down were definitely negative plays. Third down was maybe a gain of 2. So the Sulphur offense just needs something to happen right here, a little spark.
Picked up a couple of first downs the first time. This is Stelly. Stelly's going to get close to 5. 4, actually. Well, they marked him back at the 30 on the kickoff return, so it is a 5-yard gain to the 35-yard line for Stelly.
Well, we noticed Stelly. When Stelly came into the game the last 2 weeks, the tempo's picked up, and obviously had a nice catch on the very first possession, and the offense hasn't really done anything since.
2nd and 5. They'll run it again with Stelly. He's in trouble
Yeah,
immediately.
there's just no hole right there.
Well, and down he goes. Loss of a yard.
Tackles made by the big number 61 again, Bruce. That's the unnamed player, but boy, he's been on a couple big plays so far for the New Iberia Yellow Jackets tonight.
He's the biggest guy out there. He's the tallest guy out there for sure. He plays right defensive end for them.
I think we got to get either got to get Walker involved right here or get the Vizier, the tight end, 3rd and 6.
Ball at the 34. A little bit of pressure comes. They get it out here to Stelly. Stelly cuts it inside, but more a good move by Kylan Lee. So when he made that cut to the left, I thought he had the first down. Lee stepped right in front of him.
Yeah, the offensive lineman got out a little too far ahead of him right there and missed his block. If he gets his block right there, he may be still running into the end zone, but he was just a hair out there too fast, and was looking for somebody to block, and the defensive player slid in behind him and made a very nice tackle on 4th and 1. It may not, just be careful right here for the Tours. We may have a little play in right here, 4th and 1.
Snap back.
Well, New Iberia thought the same thing because they didn't rush him that time.
It's taken on the run by Fusilier, and he'll go down at the 29-yard line.
Nice job right there. We mentioned his name the other day, number 23 for the Golden Tours, Michael Johnson. He was all over the field on special teams and didn't make the tackle right there, but caused the return man to change his direction, and he was finished off by another Golden Tour. So that's a nice job by Mr. Johnson.
They keep starting in the same spot, this time the 29-yard line, with 59 seconds to go in the first quarter, 14-0 New Iberia. Same formation, and a flag goes down, illegal motion or illegal procedure or false start. That'll be our first penalty.
Yeah, it looked like
the afternoon. Yeah,
Linzer was on that left H-back position. Looks like he lifted up just a hair. I think the play was going to be a fake to him, actually.
Yeah, I thought he was just in motion.
Yeah.
They decided that he was illegally in motion. So it'll bring up a 1st and 15 for New Iberia. It's our first penalty of the afternoon. The receiver coming out here to the near side is Braylon Raymond. Just there for looks. Spread out the defense a little bit.
His mom's going to appreciate you calling his name out, though.
They'll give it off to George. His mom might get tired of hearing his name. He's going to pick up the 5 yards. So
Raymond's Raymond's a good-looking kid, too. He looks to be about 5'11", 6 foot tall. He's just a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. 61 plays both ways. There he is. There'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up.
He's a left tackle.
From the 30-yard line. Linzer will get it in motion, sweeping to the right. And up he goes, 40.
Right,
yep, he's gone.
He's not going to be caught.
Man, oh, man. A 70-yard run from Linzer.
Well, we over-pursued their play. We had it kind of stretched out on the defense. We had him out where had the defense out where we needed it, and but we didn't fill that little backside gap, and he just puts a foot into the turf, and at about the 32, 33-yard line, when he puts that foot in the turf, I don't even think we got a hand on him. He went untouched for 69 yards.
And he had a blocker running with him. But, yeah, by the 40-yard line on Sulphur side of midfield, it was over. There's Langlanay. And it is ugly, but it is good. There's 6 seconds to go in the quarter. It is now 21-0. New Iberia, they've got a 69, 68, and 71-yard drive.
Well, Bruce, coming into the season, New Iberia, people forget New Iberia was a top 10 team in the state in preseason rankings. And they've just kind of had a few struggles this year, and in games put it all together, and then in other games really, really had their problems. And so far for the Tours tonight, unfortunately, it looks like the Yellow Jackets, they've got it together this afternoon.
Yeah, their win over Westgate was just by 2, 27-25. That's an intercity rivalry, though.
And Westgate's always got athletes
Yes.
over there, even if they've got a losing record. That team is always loaded with great athletes. So anytime you can escape a game with Westgate with a victory, you've done a good job.
They beat Donaldsonville by 9, but the other 2 wins over Franklinton and Como weren't even close. This one will be taken by Walker at the 13. To the near side, he's at the 20. And the 26-yard line is where he will go out of bounds. So that'll be the end of the first quarter, dominated by New Iberia as they lead it 21-0.
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, they've had 3 drives over each of them over 65 yards in the first quarter, and it's just defense has already been on the field quite a bit, and the offense is going to have to stay on the field and have something. If the Tour is going to get back into the game, they've got to have something positive happen and something to get them back here in the ball game. Interesting enough, just from what I've seen or noticed so far on offense, is we have not got Walker involved in the game whatsoever, and so he's your most explosive player on the offense, and you've got to get him going early in the ball game. And he's a type of player that, in my opinion, needs 12 to 15 touches a game minimum to lead your offense. So Clark will be in the shotgun, and they have 3 wideouts to the Porter be in the backfield. We'll fake a handoff. Gavin Elliott's open. The pass is just a hair short. Clark was in the defensive lineman's hands and just kind of had to throw it up. Elliott gets the ball in his hands at about the 50-yard line. If he catches it, he's gone for a touchdown and just isn't quite able to slow up enough to reel that pass in.
Well, the ladies next door with New Iberia have no idea who 61 is either. So
they may have picked him up on that bus on the way in.
That's exactly what I said. So did y'all pick him up on the way over? He might have been playing for Kaplan last night.
Yeah, we need to find where they got him from. Maybe we'll make a swing through and see if they've got another one over there.
2nd and 10 from the 28. The fake to Porter, and this one, I guess, was intended out here for Mooney.
I couldn't tell if it was intended for him. It was over Walker's head so bad. You got to think it was intended for Boney, but I don't. Then it was underthrown to Boney so much. I don't know.
Yeah, the nearest guy to it was Jaheim Hawks for New Iberia, and he nearly had the pick.
Yeah, both of the Sulphur. Boney had kind of stopped on his route, which makes me think it was intended for Walker. Because he wouldn't have gotten to that ball. But that sets up a 3rd and 10 now for the Tours.
Porter in the backfield, 3 receivers out here to the right, 1 to the left. Sulphur's had a lot of 3rd and longs. They were trying a little trick play, and they got away with it to an extent. Someone in the NFL ran that last week, I believe.
I think that was going to be a snap to that tailback.
Right.
Huh?
He was coming in motion. Porter was coming in motion, and we're going to snap it to him. Somebody ran that play last weekend.
Well, with Porter being out for the last 3 weeks, that's a tough play to come in and run. I mean, it's one of them deals. Porter hasn't gotten any reps whatsoever or not many at all, I would assume, over the last 3 weeks with the first team offense. And to ask him to kind of step in and run that play this afternoon. But needless to say, it's going to set up a 4th and 8 now.
The good news is the wind is at the back of Baudouin. And he will get his best punt off. It will hit. And so far, take a little bit of a Sulphur bounce. Now it goes backwards, and they'll start, it looks like, at the 28-yard line.
Bruce, we're in that spot again. New Iberia's in that spot.
They've been within 2 yards of the 30-yard line on all 4 possessions that have scored on all of them. What happened is Porter was going to go in motion, and the snap was going to go to him. Instead, it bounced off his hands and thankfully fell into the hands of Jacob Clark, who managed to pick up a couple of yards on that bizarre-looking play. But someone ran it last week in the NFL. I can't remember who it was. Now they have everybody in tight, no receiver out this time from they mark it at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10.
When the defense is going to a 5-man front trying to stop that running game.
Here's Fusilier. He cuts it back at the 40, and he may be gone. Only one man can catch him, and this is a 71-yard touchdown run to go along with Linzer's 70 just a few moments ago.
Bruce, they're not doing anything other than their team speed. They're not doing anything very complicated. Just that the Golden Tour defense is simply over pursuing, and their running backs are very, very patient, and they wait for the hole to open up, and they're just cutting it into that backside hole right there, and just putting their plant leg down and cutting it back up the field. And once again, man, there's no other way to say it. I mean, he's gone for a touchdown.
Langley back in there. Matthew Thomas, the junior quarterback, is the holder, and it is 28-0, 10:39 to go in the first half here at Matt Walker Stadium. All New Iberia in this one. I'm not a very good mathematician, but that's just short of 280 yards of total offense. And that's 2 touchdowns of 70 yards or more on the last 2 plays.
You know, and I knew coming into the game that the Sulphur Tour defense doesn't match up real well with highly athletic offenses. And, you know, they match up well more with the offenses. They're going to kind of grind it out some and, you know, shorter pass plays. But these very explosive, and it's not like they're running a spread offense or anything, but they're so athletic on offense. Like I say, and we've got to stop over pursuing. The over pursuit is absolutely killing us.
So Langley to kick it off again. Walker and Cleary are back deep. This one will be taken by Walker, this side of the 20-yard line. He'll get it out to the 30. And he's going to be body slammed to the turf.
You know, probably luckily for New Iberia, a tackler right there. One of his guys came in and hit him and kind of knocked him down, but he had picked Walker up in the air, and if he chose to plant him right there, that was going to be a 15-yard penalty and potentially an ejection from the ball game. But
a terrible spot at 31. I thought the same thing. All of a sudden, you know, Monday Night Raw had come to mind, and if he had done that, yeah, he'd have been thrown out. All right, 1st and 10 Tours. They will run it with Stelly on the right side. He breaks free to the 35-40, and he'll pick up a first down as he's brought down near the 45-yard line.
You know, he picked up a nice block out there after about a 6-yard gain by number 11, Braylon Walker, which set him loose for a nice first down. So it's good to see that the wide receivers out there still doing their job, still getting their blocks in. And we'll see if the Golden Tours can build off that on this drive.
First down since the first possession for the Tours when they picked up 2. From their own 45, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stelly in the backfield. Clark to throw. It is incomplete. Looking for a flag. Or maybe hitting a defenseless player, but I guess they don't have that in high school.
Man, that's a play. Just that play there took too long to develop. Yeah. Walker's got to get that ball out of his hands sooner. I thought maybe he was wanting to fake that little swing screen pass and go downfield with it, but there wasn't anyone downfield. I think that's the other thing you're starting to see right now is the Golden Tours are not stretching out the defense at all. Mm-hmm. They've thrown quite a few of these little. I'm assuming from watching tape they thought they could be successful with it, but they've thrown quite a few screen passes, and the defense is starting to kind of collapse in on them. 2nd and
10. Clark running for his life will be brought down. A loss of 3.
Yeah, I mean he takes a 3-step drop right there, and as soon as he looks up, there was a defender. He's dodging a defender right away, and looked like number 30 for New Iberia, Reginald Sterling, was immediately in the backfield, and the offensive line is just going to have to figure out this the defensive front for New Iberia and give Clark some time to throw.
So it's 3rd and 13 now from the 42. Still early in the second quarter, 28-0 New Iberia. Here comes the blitz. Stelly picks it up. Oh, there's Elliott once again. Just missed him.
Yeah, that's a catch Elliott's got to make right there.
Yeah.
Elliott runs a little post pattern, and Clark hits him at about the 30-yard line. He's got 2 steps on his defender, and he just isn't able to bring that ball in. If he brings it in, that's another touchdown for the Tours. And that's one of them things, Bruce. When you're up 28-0, you make all them catches. Then when you're down 28-0, it seems like you can't make any of them.
So here comes Baudouin. It's a good snap.
Nice
kick. Yeah, this will This won't be down at the 30. It'll be down at the 20 because it's a touchback, but it'll be the worst starting field position for New Iberia. They've had 4 drives within 2 yards of the 30-yard line. This one will start at the 20 with 9:01 to go in the half. It's 28-0 New Iberia.
Kyle, with next week's home game canceled, I know you've got some news on how they're going to do senior night. Can you give us a little information on that?
It's Wilford Saturday. So that'll be next Saturday afternoon here at Walker. That'll be senior.
Kyle, we're going to have to get you a little closer on the sideline. Walk a little ways.
There's a break for the Tours.
Yes, I spoke to Jeff Sulphur on the sideline earlier, and next Saturday afternoon here in Matt Walker Stadium. I got to get a time for you, which I should see her here shortly, but I'll get you a time. It's next Saturday, though.
I have been told by Mr. Manis that it's noon.
Noon next Saturday.
Noon next Saturday. All right, George fumbles.
We had a little big play right there while we were talking.
And Sulphur picks it up at the 32-yard line. So Golden Tours, with their first break of the ball game, have it 1st and 10 at the New Iberia 32-yard line, trailing 28-0.
The good thing about that play is, Bruce, we got the ball back, obviously, on the turnover, but the bad thing was he was off for another 8 or 9 yard gain again.
Here comes Stelly, and they're just chasing him. The 31-yard line, he'll pick up 1. There was nobody out there except white shirts. And I think he'll pick up 1 maybe. Now they're going to mark it back at the 32 for no gain.
Yeah, New Iberia does a great job of pursuing on defense. They're probably, like I say, one of the quickest and most have the most size of any team we've seen so far.
So 2nd and 10. We do have 7 officials today. The play fake. Clark
He's
to
open
throw.
right there.
Yep.
That's Vizier, the tight end.
Nice tackle by Lee. But a nice pickup for the Tours on the 2nd and 10. They'll pick up about 6, maybe 5. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, I think he didn't hit Vizier a little sooner than that because Vizier was open, but I think he was trying to go downfield with it. He was probably his 3rd read right there. And when his 2 downfield reads were covered up, he finally dumped it off to Vizier for a real nice gain there.
It's 4-down territory, I am sure.
Well, when you're down 28-0, it's definitely – yeah, I mean, you could kick a field goal, but it's, 28-3 then?
High snap. Clark will give it to Stelly. Stelly tries to hunt his way for some yardage, but he only gets 1.
Yeah, Stelly came into the game a little banged up, and he's starting to get up there. His last couple of tackles, it seems he gets up a little slower, and you're going to see number 28 for the Golden Tours, Josiah Porter, check in for him on this 4th down play.
So it's 4th and 5 from the 27-yard line for the Tours. Stelly got thrown down pretty good. But he's all right.
Well, and that's what happens when you're down 28-0 as well. Boy, the defenders really start to kind of tee off on some of your players.
That is batted away by 61, and it'll be 1st down New Iberia. I watched the line that time. They're putting swim moves on the Tour linemen to just kind of.
Well, for 61 to bat that ball down, they almost didn't even touch him.
No.
I mean, he was immediately in the backfield. Not quite sure. We were throwing another screen, little I call it a swing pass. It's either a swing pass or a screen pass to the running back right there. Place kind of surprised me on 4th down. We haven't had much success going sideline to sideline with these athletes.
1st and 10 Yellow Jackets. Here's George again. You'll get it out close to the 35. They'll mark him back at the 34 with 6:39 to go.
I was trying to figure out who got that tackle there, Bruce, but Hugo Perez gets up and hands him his running back his shoe back. So
maybe him.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Perez was in on that tackle. He's been active so far early in the ball game here in the first half for the Golden Tour defense.
It's 28-0 Yellow Jackets. They have it at the Sulphur at their own 34. 2nd down and 3 coming up. They've only been stopped once, and that was a fumble on their last possession. They're going to throw it. He throws it to Linzer, which kind of was a mistake. Fugere was wide open. 20.
Yeah, he had number 20. In fact, 20 was so wide open, it almost looked like he wasn't sure if he run the right route.
Man. The first third down of the ball game for New Iberia comes with 6:03 to go in the first half. It's 3rd and 3.
Well, and the Golden Tour defense here has got to figure out a way to get off the field. You know, the offense has had some success the last couple of drives and just kind of shot themselves in the foot.
The give is to George, and they've stood him up. He's going to be short of the first down by at least a yard.
Wasn't sure if they were going to finally call him down there.
So it'll be 4th down and 1.
Well, and this is interesting. New Iberia.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Yeah. It's kind of a long one. They have to get it just beyond the 38 or 37-yard line. It's right at the 36. One receiver goes wide to the far side. They're going to run this.
If they run a play.
If they run it, you're right. I was just thinking of that.
Oh, their left tackle jumped.
And they will run it for the first down. George will get it out to the 40. A little bit beyond the 40-yard line.
You know, I would say it's a risky play there, but I mean, on your side of the field. But on the other hand, I mean, our offense just hasn't done anything whatsoever. So I mean, they're able to keep the ball here, and
we've had no negative plays.
No. So when you look at it from those statistics, you know, it's probably the right call.
It just keeps the clock running. So LSU and Alabama have been postponed today, so there's no sense in getting back to New Iberia in a big hurry.
Yeah, there were quite a few college cancellations today.
I think I saw 13% of the schedule. Here's Fugere sweeping left, and there he goes. 50, 40. Tours have an angle on him, and they're going to bring him down. He goes out of bounds inside the 30.
You know, it was a nice job right there with number 14, Caleb Lorette, for the Golden Tours. Would have been real easy to kind of give up on that play right there, and he did a great job of using it. He didn't get aggressive and try to make the tackle. And you know, I'm saying all that after a 40-yard run, but I mean, he used the sideline there real nicely and was able to get Fugere kind of pinned up over there, and so he could get him down. But it'd been easy when you're down 28-0, been easy to give up on that play.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Yeah, you're right. He does jump. They're going to throw it. It is interference, Sulphur. The ball was underthrown, and Lorette really didn't have much of a choice as he ran into the intended receiver, so that'll be half the distance to the goal.
Yes, you know, that's something they teach a lot of the receivers now, especially on underthrown passes. If they'll come back and get that ball and that defender doesn't get his head turned around, they won't let them. If their heads turn around and they're both looking for the ball, they'll give them a little contact right there. But when the defender doesn't get turned around whatsoever, it's an easy call there for the officials.
So the ball inside the 15-yard line, 1st and 10, New Iberia. First penalty of the evening for Sulphur. They'll hand it off, sweeping, then cutting it inside. This is Linzer, and Linzer dives for the goal line. He'll be short by a yard, but it'll be 1st and goal to go for New Iberia at that point.
Yeah, he had an offensive lineman that pulled with him on that play, and that's one of the things I found interesting was that offensive lineman couldn't find anyone to block as well. And man, this, like I said, their offense right now is just against the defensive pressure that we provided. They're just clicking on all cylinders.
They've only been stopped once, and that's because they fumbled. 1st and goal to go at the 1. It will be a quarterback sneak.
He spun out a little bit, but I think he still fell in the end zone.
Yep. So Walker takes it in from 1 yard out. Somebody other than Linzer and Fugere to make it 34-0, New Iberia. They were shut out by Lafayette. Langlanais will miss this one. Well, it's another bad snap.
Yeah, the other thing, you know, you're talking about them getting shut up by Lafayette. You know, thing that just really surprises me is Sulphur needed a big victory coming off of 2 consecutive wins to even their record up at 2-2. And, there's been a lot of talk about no matter where they're at in the playoffs, Sulphur was with this shortened season and the hurricane and 2 hurricanes and everything else. We're looking to get into the playoffs and send the senior class out that way. And it just surprises me that we just seem to have come out very, very flat on such a big game.
Yeah, because you had the opportunity to really move up in the power rating.
Well, New Iberia at 15.
Yeah, you were going to head up into the upper 20s.
Yeah,
because you're not going to pick up anything from Evangel next week if you can go up there and win, because they're a 4A without a win. A 73-yard drive. It started at the 27. Or that's the 80-yard drive.
Yeah, that was an 80-yard drive.
Started at the 20. Over 300 yards of offense.
Yeah, they definitely put on a clinic so far today.
Short kick. Taken at about the 27. And
didn't see who fielded it.
I didn't either. 83. Blaylock.
It'd be number 83, Caden Blaylock, sophomore wide receiver.
From the 31-yard line, 3:35 to go. For Sulphur, New Iberia will get the football to start the third quarter. 3 receivers to the left for the Tours. Stelly back in the backfield. And a flag goes down.
Yeah, I don't know if it was on the snap or just everything just kind of looked out of whack right there. I'm not sure who moved first.
Start.
Yeah. Who it was that moved, but just kind of everything just wasn't in sync right there. You could tell. And that's obviously not what the Tours need to happen right there.
You don't want 1st and 15 at your 26. Tours have run just a handful of plays on the New Iberia side of midfield. Most of those coming off the fumble recovery. Stelly attempts to pick up yardage. He'll get 1, maybe.
That's a tough 1 yard, too.
Runs right into Braylon Raymond. 2nd and 14 from the 27-yard line now for the Tours.
Yeah, Sulphur, like I said, especially down to 34-0 now, they're going to have to figure out a way to get the ball downfield. They're just haven't been effective. I mean, and New Iberia, for the most part, now they're going to have 2 back, but they've been putting 10 guys up in the box pretty consistently.
So 2nd and 14 from the 27. Clark to throw. Clark will run, and he slips right at the line of scrimmage as he makes a cut.
Yeah, nothing against Jacob Clark right there, but yeah, from the athletes we've seen on that New Iberia defense, he's not going to be able to run the ball for big gains. So he's going to have to try to figure out a way to, once he begins to scramble, he's going to try to keep his head up and see if he can find a receiver open, which he's had receivers open at times. And we've had a couple big drops, unfortunately. And, of course, it's easy for me to say all that. It's sitting up here in the booth versus running down on that field, having 3 or 4 guys chase me.
It's 3rd and 14 now from the 27. They will hand it off to Stelly. Stelly on the right side with a nice game, but not nice enough.
Yeah, unless it's 4, I guess it's going to 4 down territory. I don't quite understand that play call right there. Now I see the punt team going. Yeah, I mean, 3rd and 14, we hand the ball off.
They'll pick up about 7, but they needed 14. So it's 4th and 6. Baudouin and Fugele back out. Baudouin to kick, Fugele to return.
The only thing
I
could think of is maybe Coach Tower wanted to keep that clock running and let as much time run off here to restrict their offense before halftime. And, they got Golden. Of course, as soon as I say that.
Bad snap and bad punt. It's a negative punt. He did kick it, but it rolls right into the New Iberia defense at the 28-yard line.
Well, it's the 2nd or 3rd snap that's been somewhat low, because the snap before, I thought to myself he did a great job of going down and getting the ball.
Not getting a knee.
Not getting a knee down. And He went down to get that one as well, and they just kind of bobbled it around. And then when he looked up, there was already they've gotten great pressure so far tonight on the punter, and there was a defender right there in his face. So he just couldn't take any extra time.
Receiver left and right.
2 receivers this time for
Yeah.
New Iberia.
They're going to hand it off to Linzer, sweeping the near side. That receiver with a great block. Linzer will be forced out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That is the 10th first down for New Iberia.
Well, you see when they put that other receiver out there, so they had a receiver set up on the top and the bottom, but that defensive back he's immediately crashing or pinching down on that run play, and he's got to stay outside and fight that block off. And if nothing else, turn the running back into his defense. And when he immediately pinches it inside right there, I mean, he's got the corner for an easy 10 to 15-yard gain.
Too many men on the field.
Yeah, I believe the
Sulphur.
Tours have 12.
Yeah.
That's called by the back judge. It was called immediately.
And Sulphur was trying to call a timeout after he threw the flag. Let's see if they give it to him. No illegal substitution. Yep. So 1st and 5 coming up for the Yellow Jackets inside the Sulphur 10-yard line here. They lead it 34-0 just before the half. Only one receiver this time. And he will go, well, one of them will go in motion. It's Fusilier, and they're going to hand it off to Linzer. There's nobody there.
He walks into the end zone.
Yeah. 9-yard run for Linzer.
That was almost an old wing T play right there. Linzer was the 3rd running back that the quarterback encountered. So he faked to the one wing man. He faked to the running back, and then Linzer was at the other wing position. He came back he handed the ball to him, and he literally just walks in for another score.
His 3rd touchdown run of the afternoon. His 2nd 9-yarder. And Langlanay's kick is ugly again, and it's no good. So it's 40-0 with 64 seconds to go. As Langlanay has gotten tired, as he has hooked a couple of them here.
I'm going to leave it up to you whether or not you want to catch Towery at halftime. It might not be a good segment.
Guys, you read my mind.
104 left to play here in the 2nd quarter.
All right.
Langlanay will tee it up here.
So as halftime starts, we'll just kind of throw it to you, and you'll be waiting to talk to Tower for about 30, 40 seconds.
Still got a pretty good breeze out of the south.
You know, Bruce, I knew the Tours were going to have their hands full this afternoon, boy, but I just didn't see this.
I didn't either. Oh.
Especially as well as we played the last 2 weeks.
Blaylock catches it on the run, gets a nice block. He turns the corner at 35.
You know, Blaylock's been a player so far tonight. He hasn't hesitated to step up and catch a couple of them shorter kickoffs. He's a sophomore wide receiver. And I guess if there's any bright spots for the Tours is, as I'm looking through the roster and calling out different names, I'm seeing or calling a lot of younger players that are on the field for the Golden Tours. As we've called out the same names all year for the most part, but they have a lot of sophomores in the program that are getting great playing time throughout the season.
Porter in the backfield once again on 1st down from the 39. He will get the football. No, he won't. Clark keeps the football, and he is brought down for a loss.
Yeah, Michael Akins, number 6. That was the big gentleman we talked about that came out for the opening coin toss.
Yes.
And he's been a little quiet, actually. And but once again, I mean, as soon as Clark looks up, he's in the backfield.
Will we have all the homecoming activities on?
They're lining up over there, so it appears.
Will we keep it on our stream here so folks can watch it?
Yeah, we'll turn the volume.
Okay.
We'll turn the volume down, and we'll leave the stream up.
I think that's Porter. That should end the half.
Yeah, I think Coach Tower is just looking to get to halftime and kind of regroup and much as I hate to say it, down 40-0 going in the half. I mean, this game may be out of reach already, but he's just looking to regroup his troops. And now as a coach, you're wanting to win the second half.
Yeah.
Kyle, see if you can catch Coach Tauber for a few comments.
Coach Tower, you got just a second? Yeah, guys, I'm down here with Coach Tower.
Let's win.
Coach, tough first half. I know it's got to be rough. What's your thoughts going in, and what are you telling the kids for the second half?
You just play. You gotta not look at the scoreboard and just play. I mean, we've had some adversity this week. We have a coach not here. We have 2 offensive linemen that are not playing this week. That various issues. One of them a COVID issue. One of them a tonsillitis popped up this morning. So we're just. We're not doing things very well on either side of the ball right now. So what these kids have to do is they have to come out and they have to not look at that scoreboard and they have to play a second half of football. So, and that's just all we can do.
Appreciate your comments, Coach. Good luck.
And
Yeah, guys, you just heard from Coach Towery. Definitely struggle. He's got a lot of adversity coming into this game this week, which would make sense. We're just, with this being so unusual, we really are just glad to be out here. And like he said, just erase the score from your mind. It's a fresh half coming up. And back to you guys.
Yeah, that's exactly the way you have to look at it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was alluding to. They're going to look to just regroup there at halftime, and then at this point in time, you're looking to win the second half and have something positive going into the game against Evangel next week. So
that's work on your game, work on your stuff, get better at what you do. Of course, we didn't know about the offensive lineman.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut the mics, but we're gonna leave the cameras up, and you'll get to. I don't have all the names and everything.
I have the Queen's name.
Oh yeah, the Queen's name.
I have the Queen's name.
I think we need to wait before we.
You want to wait? Okay. Usually that's a tradition between John Bridges and myself.
I got you.
We've been doing that for about 30 years. He brings me the Queen's name before. Then we usually wait till a little bit later to announce it, but we always get it first.
So we'll cut the mics and let you enjoy the halftime, and we'll take a quick break here, and then we'll come back.
And we'll tell you who she is.
Yeah, we'll come back and tell you all that good information. So after a little extended halftime for homecoming, I'm gonna leave Mr. Bruce Merchant to give all the Queen information. But as we mentioned, as we went to halftime, the Golden Tours down 40-0. Obviously, they're just looking to come in and do some positive things in the second half. And like Coach said, they got to win the second half here and have something positive. Bruce, I didn't make any announcements. I decided I would leave that announcing up to you.
Okay. Anything in particular?
No, for the Queen.
Oh, Jill Broussard. Yeah.
So Jill Broussard
Parents
is
of Ken and Beth Broussard.
and I can promise you, Beth is smiling right now from ear to ear. Great family, great young lady, and her older brother Ben Broussard recently played for the Golden Tour baseball team. So that family very active in the Sulphur community.
New Iberia with the second half kickoff, taken at the 14 and fumbled at the 15. Picked up against Fusilier to the 25, to the 30. Still on his feet and tripped up from behind.
Daniel Burton, number 1.
Made a great diving tackle. And for what began as a disaster, they end up getting it out to the 36, 37-yard line.
Well, you know what happens a lot of times, Bruce, when you fumble a kickoff like that, the defense loses their containment, their lane containment as well, because they kind of get excited about the ball being on the ground. And more often than not, in fact, it crossed my mind, you see a big play happen when he's able to pick that ball up.
Are we going to have a running clock? Because it hasn't stopped. First down, New Iberia. They will turn around and hand it off for a very short gain. One of the better plays for the Golden Tours here in the ball game, a gain of just a yard or so for George.
Yeah, that looks like that tackle was made by number 23, Michael Johnson. So on the first down play right there, Johnson's normally a defensive back, and they walked him up on the they haven't listed actually as a linebacker, but he's a little on the smaller side, I guess you should say, for a prototypical linebacker. But they walked him up off at the right defensive end, and they're looking to have to do something a little different here to stop the running game of New Iberia.
They're going to send Raymond out here wide left. They've only thrown, I think, a couple of passes. Here goes Linzer on the right side, and the Golden Tours get him short of the first down. It's like Burton. Yep, Daniel Burton brings him down. Third down and 1, only the second third down. Or say about a third and a fourth down that they've converted. Converted the fourth down.
Then obviously, just from what they've done so far in the game, they'll be in 4-down territory right here. So the Tour defense will have to really put something together over the next 2 plays.
40-0, New Iberia, 10 minutes to go, third quarter. All the homecoming halftime stuff is done. No fancy dresses this year. Bell bottoms. Here's the handoff for the first down. It's Fusilier. He's got a couple of touchdown runs.
Yeah,
pick up 6.
My mom was asking me this morning if I knew if they were going to be wearing their dresses today, and she was talking about how warm it would look, muggy it was going to be today. Yeah. So they were out in blue jeans and T-shirts. Little different homecoming setup this year.
And see any ties on dads and uncles?
No, there weren't. Yeah, I promise you, them dads weren't complaining about the more relaxed attire for them as well.
But if they were wise, they weren't complaining to their daughters. They were not saying anything to them. From midfield, it's first down, New Iberia. From under center, Walker will hand it off to George. He's going to pick up 9, which happens to be his number. They had 360 yards of total offense in the first half.
And look, every bit of 360 yards.
On 21 plays.
Oh, wow.
Second down and 1 coming up from the Sulphur 41-yard line here for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, and this is what the defense just has to avoid. Put your defense in such a hole when you're giving up 7, 8, 9 yards on first down.
Yep.
There's just not a whole lot you can do. Even if you have a stop on second down or even a stop on second and third down, still fourth and short. So they've got to do a better job on first down. The play took a lot of time right there. I don't know if we got a timeout.
They've stopped
Stop the clock. I don't see any penalty flags down. Now, New Iberia is running another player out on the field.
Well, he's running back. It's Linzer. So I'm not sure what they stopped before they reset the play clock, so they've started it back up. The game clock should be running. There it goes.
Well, still not the game clock.
I know it's not running either. Of course, it was running after the kickoff.
There he goes. He finally winded his arm.
Back to throw is Walker, and he's going to be sacked. All the way back to the 46-yard line, 5-yard loss. So it's third down coming up.
Well, it's tough on the quarterback right there. They only sent two receivers out in the coverage, and the receiver he was wanting to throw to was the running back out of the backfield, and he kind of got held up in some traffic getting out of the backfield, so the play took a little longer to develop than what they were needing. A little surprised they were looking to pass the ball right there.
All right, third down and 6. They've only thrown, I believe, 2 today. They're letting the clock run. That may be the problem. We've lost the play clocks. They're blank. So third down and 6. One receiver out here near side. Linzer goes in motion. They will hand it off near side and
it's a nice job right there.
Drop for no loss.
But that was number 23. That was that same little play they scored on that touchdown in the first half.
That's right.
That little wing T option play. And fortunately for the Golden Tours, number 23, Michael Johnson, stays home where he's supposed to be and makes the tackle in the gap.
Fourth and 6. They'll go for it on the Sulphur side of midfield at the 46-yard line, leading 40-0. 6:40 to go in the third quarter. Everybody in tight. And the quarterback will keep it, and he will lose a yard.
Yeah, that's a little surprise as well because the quarterback hasn't run the ball at all today.
Nope.
Kyle, the Golden Tour defense comes up with a big stop right there to start the second half.
47-yard line.
I'll tell you right now, guys, just from being down here, completely different looking defensive atmosphere. They seem focused. They seem ready to go. And just like Coach Towery mentioned, it's a brand new half. As far as they're concerned, it's 0-0. And the Sulphur Tour defense just showed up in a big way. It's really nice to see that on that drive.
First time that the Yellow Jackets have turned it over other than a turnover.
They had the one turnover, and then that one right there scored on every other drive.
First down, Sulphur from their 47. Play fake to Stelly. Clark will be hammered by Michael Akins once again.
Well,
he didn't get a penalty.
Yeah, Gavin Elliott was going to go on a double move right there, and he just wasn't real clean out of his going from the first move to the second move. He just wasn't real clean and precise, and kind of got a little, not going to say pass interference, but kind of got a little tangled up with the defensive back. And once the timing of that play got thrown out of whack, Clark just has no time back there.
2nd and 19 now, back at the 38-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, one over here to the right. Stelly is in the backfield with Clark on 2nd and long. They will give it to Stelly. Got a little bit of room. He gets it back out across the 40, but
they're getting spotted to the 42.
Yeah. Pretty good spot.
Yeah, I didn't think he quite got there, but yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, makes it 3rd and 15. As opposed to 3rd and 16.
This is one of the plays as much as we were talking about the defense can't give up the big plays on first down, the offense has continually got themselves in 3rd and long throughout the day. So we'll see if they can convert this one, but they're going to have to correct that as the game goes on.
3 rushers right now, 3 down linemen for New Iberia. Play clocks are back. The play fake, the throw over the middle. It is caught by Elliott just short of the first down. So it's 4th and 2.
2 yards short right there. Nice gain of 13 on the play.
Go for it. Might as well.
Yeah,
It's 40-0.
Down 40-0. Yeah. And like I say, you're looking for something positive here in the second half. So they're definitely in 4-down territory on the New Iberia side of the field.
From the 45, 4th down and 2. Stelly is in the backfield with Clark. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They're going to throw it. Swing it out to Elliott. He's caught it, but he's in big trouble, and he will not escape.
It's actually the Stelly out of the backfield, but
Yeah.
Clark is looking at that receiver way too early, and he's just, I mean, really, he's not giving his receiver a chance even to make the play right there, because he stares him down, and once he starts staring him down, the defenders really close real well, and so as soon as he catches the ball, there's nowhere to go.
By the way, we found out number 61 is Quentin Cook.
Quentin Cook,
number 42 on your roster.
He's just just a junior defensive. They have him listed as a defensive lineman. As we mentioned, he goes both ways.
Yeah. Thanks to the New Iberia stat ladies next door. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 47. They lead 40-0. The clock is not stopping now. It's 3 minutes to go. So we have a running clock here in the second half. New quarterback. He's got the football to midfield and into Sulphur territory.
Number 19, Matthew Thomas.
He's been the holder.
Listed as a junior.
So I guess they have decided that 40 is enough, and they're just going to let the clock run.
Well, I don't see 61 in the ball game either. See, he'd been their left tackle on offense. I see he's out as well. So
he may just be playing defense here in the second half. See, this is something in this offense that you also never see, and that's a quarterback under center the whole time. He's never been in the shotgun. They'll give it to George. George is tripped up close to the first down, and he will have it.
Tackle made by number 1, Daniel Burton, once again.
And it's got to hurt having that big guy run into you.
Yeah, well, you see Grayson Stelly kind of limping off the field right there. But, yeah, when you're a defensive back and that big boy is coming down at you right there, Daniel's learned real quick that I better go a little low on him. But even them big boys like that, even the low ones hurt.
Run into that shoulder. You put that shoulder into him. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line in Sulphur territory now for the Yellow Jackets, up by 40. They'll send a receiver way out here to the left. Everybody else in tight as always. And in motion, we'll get the football sweeping the near side. The Doors did a good job of slowing it down, but he'll still pick up 5 yards or so. It's Fugele. Somebody nearly had him in the backfield. It was Massey.
Yeah, the tackle was finally made by number 41, Bladen Laidlaw. But, yeah, Massey caused him to go a little deeper into the backfield.
Slowed it down a bit. It's a gain of 4, so it's 2nd and 6 from the Sulphur 38-yard line here. Less than a minute to go.
We're inside a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're not stopping the clock. Normal change of possession.
Well, and as we found out from Coach, Sulphur's missing a few key players today, and down 40-0. It may even been I'm not going to make excuses, but it may even been a stretch for us to dress out and play today. So,
pitch to Linzer. He'll have the first down and more at the 30, the 25, the 10. He will score. He'll walk in for his 4th touchdown of the afternoon. This one from 37 yards out.
Yeah, Linzer's a very impressive running back. He's definitely as good as advertised, because once he gets going, I haven't seen anyone, at least on the defense, and that's no offense to anyone on the defense, but I haven't seen anyone on the defense that's going to be able to track him down. He's got that kind of game-changing speed.
Here's Langlanay. And he has had a rough time here. He's missed.
That one got through.
That one. Okay. He'd missed 2 out of 3 then. But that makes it 47 to nothing.
That one only cleared the crossbar by about a foot, looked like. But in the scorebook, it'd be a perfect kick in the morning.
That's it. Yep. It still counts as 1 point.
Bruce, I think one of the interesting things to talk about is Walker. I've seen Walker doesn't have a catch today, and we talked about it would be they need to get him involved in the game early, and haven't done it whatsoever. But like I say, Clark's had all kind of trouble even finding time to throw. Mm-hmm. And as Coach mentioned, going out of half, he's missing 2 of his starting offensive linemen. But and also just brings about opportunities for another lineman to step up and fill a gap. But so yeah, the offensive line's definitely had their troubles today.
Langlanay ready to kick.
You know, for a kicker with not a very strong leg, he's done a great job on his kickoff, spotting them up today.
This is Clary to the 40, to the near side. He trips. Oh, he pulled a hamstring. That's what happened. Flag goes down. I think when he made that cut at the 40, I thought maybe he had because he was limping. But no, he appears to be okay. But anyway, sideline warning against Sulphur, so the run will stand.
Well, Bruce, the young man will learn when you trip over the yard line.
Yep, that's what happened.
You do get up limping just in case.
Yeah, that's what I thought because the way he stumbled, it was, oh, that's hamstring.
Yeah, he had a lot of green room in front of him. He had one defender, then the kicker, and he had a ton of room out there. So I think he was kind of one of the things where your feet get moving faster than your body, and he hadn't seen that kind of spaces all day today, and just got a little excited. But still a great return for the Golden Tours. Gets them across midfield.
Stelly with the football, trying to sweep left, and he's got nowhere to go, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Loss of 3. And after 3, it is New Iberia 47 and Sulphur nothing here at Matt Walker Stadium. One more quarter to go for homecoming 2020 for the Tours. Next week, on to Shreveport. In the Piney Woods against Evangel. They are 0-7.
Kyle, I just received a note that senior cheerleader Colleen Valentine, 18th birthday is today. So if you see her on the sideline, you need to tell her happy birthday from us.
It's my oldest niece's 40th birthday today over in Bridge City.
You going to get in trouble for saying the 40th?
Probably not.
She's probably not listening anyway.
No. I wished her, happy birthday to my oldest niece. One of us is getting old. She said we both are. I got a 40-year-old niece. Good gosh.
So that's going to bring about the start of the fourth quarter for the Golden Tour. 2nd and 13.
Empty backfield. 4-man front for New Iberia. They're going to throw it deep. A nice adjustment by Walker. There he is. There's the touchdown.
Yeah, of course, it comes a little too late today. But, yeah, like I say, Walker's just that type of player. You've got to, as an offensive coach, you have to figure out ways to get him involved in your offense and get him involved early and get him involved often as well. And even right there, you saw a pass that was underthrown by Jacob Clark. But Walker had enough of field presence right there to stop his route, make the catch, and then get turned back and head to the end zone for the first Golden Tour touchdown of the afternoon.
Looking back into the sun, too. Abbott's kick is good. 11:52 left in the ball game, and Sulphur's on the board. It's 47-7. Walker leads the Golden Tours with 410 yards. He's now up over 450 on the year. That's the 9th touchdown pass thrown by Jacob Clark this season. Let's see how many touchdown catches Walker has. That's his 3rd.
Bruce, I was doing a little change of subject, but I was doing some research yesterday. Before I headed to Lafayette to call the STM Karen Crow game last night, and the Howard kid, quarterback that's committed to LSU from STM, averages about 335 yards a game and 3 touchdowns.
Wow. This kick is into the end zone. Usually will not run it out.
Oh, yeah, the kicker when he's kicking north, the kicker loves that south wind right there.
He had a good game last week in North Vermillion.
Well, and the name escapes me, but the other kicker as well.
Oh, yeah. The
number.
Is it Paez?
Yeah, 57. Yeah, Paez. Got into for a few kickoffs as well. And Remember he was a little different kicker. Wasn't quite as pronounced of a soccer style kicker, but he had a couple reach the end zone.
So 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line here for
I
New Iberia.
I see a lot of substitutions up on the defensive front for the Golden Tours.
Here's Fusilier sweeping left, and he fumbles the
ball
football.
on the ground.
And I think New Iberia comes up with it. I think it went right through somebody's arms.
I believe that was 94, maybe.
Yeah.
94 had the first shot at it, Cage Owens,
Yeah.
and just wasn't able to come up with the ball.
They have turned it over once already down in this neighborhood. But they managed to fall on it and pick up a couple of yards after that. So it's 2nd and 4 from the 26-yard line.
Looks like the Golden Tours have made several defensive line substitutions, but the defensive backfield remains the same.
They will run it for the first down. It should be George, but they've substituted their quarterback. So, nope, that is George.
Well, the other thing that's interesting is their running backs don't always line up at the same position either. One time George will be at the H-back, and the other kid, Linzer, will be at tailback. And then the next play, George will be at tailback, and Linzer will be at H-back. So you can't really kind of key off any of their players because they interchange them quite a bit on their offensive sets.
So they are taking their time in the huddle here. They're getting the play shuttled in by the quarterback. It goes to the sideline.
Yeah, even high school ball, it's not something you see an awful lot anymore, is the quarterback actually running over that. But they, for the most part, every play tonight.
They'll sweep it to the near side. This is George, flag down.
I think we had a hold.
That's Linzer. Yeah, that's Linzer who goes out of bounds in front of the Sulphur bench.
He's pushed out of bounds by Stelling, number 29, but it's going to come back.
Brian Myers, our white hat today.
Yeah, you mentioned a seven-man crew. Probably with us been on Saturday, not many Saturday games.
No.
So they're able to get a full allotment of
I think there were
referees.
3 in the area. East Beauregard and Hamilton Christian were going to Lafayette to play.
If you happen to be in the Baton Rouge area and want to see a good high school game, Acadiana is at Catholic High for a game that got scheduled. They lost, both of them lost their opponents due to COVID, and the game got, I think, scheduled on Wednesday or so of this week, and both of them teams are nationally ranked.
Receiver goes to the left. There's no other game in Baton Rouge tonight. Thomas fumbles the football, and he'll recover it for another loss. This will go back to the 14-yard line.
It seems a little odd, too. They were talking pregame that a friend of our son is an equipment manager with McNeese. And was talking about, he was reporting back McNeese is starting their camp. But I forgot McNeese is playing in the spring.
Yep.
So it seems a little odd to be thinking about McNeese just now starting their camp or starting some of their practices mid-November.
First game is February 13th at Tarleton State. They're going to run that reverse with Fugely, and he stops on a dime and cuts it back up the middle and will pick up good yards on second and about 25. He'll get it across the 30 to the 33. So it'll be 3rd down and 8.
He was brought down right there by number 6, Tyler Massey. So Massey and Burton have had very active games tonight. The only problem is you never like to see when your 2 safeties or 2 defensive backs are consistently called throughout the game.
9:10 to go, 47-7. New Iberia on top. They have not punted the football.
I'm not sure if they have a punter.
Well, they may not. They'll hand it off to Linzer on the sweep coming to the near side.
Got a little convoy with him out there.
Trying to get a blocker, and somebody trips him up.
Number 5, Hyatt.
Yep, but he'll pick up the first down.
Hyatt's another young man that's kind of been bottled up by the New Iberia offense tonight. He's a linebacker that we consistently call his name throughout the season, and that's the first time I can remember calling his name for a tackle today. 16
first downs on my chart for New Iberia. It's out to their 46-yard line. First down, they lead at 47-7, 8:25 to go.
Kyle, it looks like we got some younger players in on the Golden Tour defensive line.
They're going to throw. Thomas throws it on a rope to Raymond. 3-yard pickup at the 49-yard line.
Looks like he was covered by number 14, Caleb Lorette. Looks like the Golden Tours are starting to work in some younger players on the defense.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it made us help to the transition into the second half because the defense looks a lot more focused, a lot stronger, and obviously there's less points being put on the board between the previous quarter. So giving these young guys some experience right now, really where it's at. They've only got another game next week, and so getting these guys ready for next year, I'm sure, is a big priority for Coach.
2nd and 7 from the 49-yard line. Fugely goes in motion. They'll give it to George up the middle. George across the 40, down close to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we've also got to work a little better awareness right there. He ran by several Golden Tour defenders, and it was almost like they didn't realize he had the ball right there. So that's probably one of the things they'll notice on film and look to correct during the week.
Coming up on the 7-minute mark. At 47-7, New Iberia, they have it at the Sulphur 31, 1st and 10.
You know, this offense reminds me a lot of a veer. And, you know, when you're playing a veer offense, you teach your guys, you know, like that running back that he fakes to every time, you tackle him every play, you know. Yeah. So we haven't done a great job of doing things like that tonight.
They're going to hand it off, sweeping the near side. It's Fugely, and he's going to be brought down for a loss.
It's a nice job by Burton right there. Burton stays home like he should right there. And as I talked about earlier, he kept outside containment right there. So he made the running back cut back up into the middle of the field. And although Burton made the tackle, he also had some defenders coming for help right there. But, you know, if he pinches that off too fast and gives Fugely that outside corner, you know, he's off to the races once again. So that's a nice job by number 1.
That's actually Christian Thomas who carried the first time today.
28? Is that 28?
13.
13?
Yep, 13 carried. 28 is not on my list. Raymond goes wide left for show. Thomas up under center. He will keep it himself. It's inside the 30, inside the 25, close to the first down, which would be the 21. They have a lot of new players out there, too.
Yeah, New Iberia's made a lot of wholesale substitutions as well on offense. So both teams, you know, with the score 47-7 with 5.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, both teams are taking advantage of it looks like we have another quarterback change for New Iberia, but both teams are taking advantage of the score to get their younger players some playing time.
That would be Alan Hamilton, a freshman. He will go up under center. Cedric Moore Jr., the running back. Said he's going to hand it to 28. Sweeping the left side. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. He will score. And we have no idea who that is.
No, I thought 28 may be 29, but I saw 29s in the game as well. Cedric Moore.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who 28 is.
And we got a penalty after the play. It'll be unsportsmanlike conduct, probably on the kid who scored the touchdown.
Oh, did he do a little celebrating?
Most likely.
The wall kind of pinched off my view right there.
I didn't see exactly. I just saw the flag come out. Of course, we have no idea who scored. They're pulling them out of the stands. Anglinay's kick is good, and it's 54-7.
Well, you know, I kind of thought to myself that freshman quarterback took him a little while to get onto the field there when they made that change a while ago. And he may have been over there at water cooler and had to figure out where his helmet was, not realizing he was about to go in the ball game there.
The second most points scored by New Iberia this year. They scored 59 in a victory over the Franklinton. I believe they're the Green Demons, I think they're still called. I think. No, that's not their nickname. Now I got to look it up.
Iberia's going to roll a new kicker into the game. The first thing he's got to do is walk back 15 yards for that unsportsmanlike penalty.
Have not had many penalties today. 30 for them,
No,
24 for Sulphur.
Yeah, it's been a pretty clean game by both squads.
That's still Langland, eh? Big 99.
Oh, sure is. I thought it was a different kicker.
Kick is taken short. Yeah, it's Cleary to the 40, 45, and about the 47-yard line. He's had a couple of good kick returns today.
Yeah, he does a good job back there. He's not as explosive as Walker is, obviously, but does a great job back there and usually makes pretty smart decisions on his returns.
So 1st and 10 coming up for the Golden Tours. Clock has stopped. Pistol formation here for the Tours. It is still Clark. It's a different running back.
Yeah, it's not Porter?
Oh, yeah, it's 28. You're right.
Yeah, Porter back in the game. I was just thinking, great opportunity to get Porter some carries right here and kind of get his legs up underneath him, and that way he'll be ready for a little better in shape, at least I should say, for the Evangel game next Friday. Porter's a kid that we had heard a lot of good things about. He's a transfer. He's a senior, transfer from Washington Marion when Washington Marion decided not to play football this year. And the coaching staff was very high on him coming into the season. But he was banged up, I think, the 3rd or 4th play into his first game.
Clark throws deep, knocked away. Bonet was in position.
Really surprised that don't draw a flag right there.
Nyland Phillips. They have knocked it away, and he's slow getting up.
Yeah, that's definitely a targeting situation right there. Golden Tours don't get the call, but kind of hate to see a play like that late in the game, especially 54-7. You don't want to see a player get injured by either side.
Franklinton Demons. I was close. They're not green. 3rd down coming up. Tours will need a long 5 from the New Iberia 49-yard line. 3:53 to go. 54-7 now. Clark will turn around and hand it off to Porter. Had a little bit of room to run, but it closed up pretty quick. He did pick up 3.
Yeah, tough run right there by Porter. Had a little gap right there. Like you said, closed up pretty quickly. That's going to bring up a 4th and 2 for the Golden Tours. With 3:37 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Of course, they will go for it. I think most of the punts we saw in this game were in the 1st quarter. Haven't had many since, and New Iberia has not punted. So it's 4th and a long 1 for the Tours from the Yellow Jackets' 45-yard line. Clark in trouble, but he escapes, and he will pick up the 1st down as he's dumped on his head inside the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Clark. That wasn't exactly how it was designed. Nope. And they got a lot of early pressure on him. Their defense that time did what the Golden Tours have been doing most of the game and didn't take care of their lane assignments. And Clark was able to cut it back up the field into a little gap right there for the 1st down.
That's only, according to me, the 5th first down for Sulphur. 1st and 10 from the 36. 2:40 to go. They jump. Those flags came from behind, too. That's generally not a good sign against Sulphur.
Almost looked like the center kind of rolled the ball a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
But it never did snap it.
So that'll make it 1st and 15. I think that's a whole new defensive line, too. Those guys aren't near as big as the first group was. Clark to throw. I think that was intended for Stelling. It was about 5 yards short. So a 2nd and 15.
Maybe a new defensive front, but number 10, Latavian Thompson, the right side defensive end, he is really getting off the ball pretty quick. I thought he was going to have a sack on that play right there. He's really getting off the ball pretty quick for New Iberia. And the Golden Tours will call a timeout right there.
I was waiting for a flag. I thought maybe he was going to be held. But he got back there quickly.
Yep.
Clark did a good job of stepping up in front of him, so saved himself. I didn't look to see who New Iberia finishes up with. Assuming they have a game next week, I would imagine they do.
That's surprising. You know, their statistician told me that they had to cancel their game early last week. There were so many unsportsmanlike penalties when they were playing Como that they ended up stopping the
Really?
game. Ended up stopping the game early.
Wow.
I hadn't heard about that.
Well, it was 49-0.
Yeah, I think it was 40. I think she said it was 42-0 at halftime, or may even been 49-0 at halftime.
The only reason this one wasn't was because the two missed extra points. Clark to throw. Escapes one man who could bring him down for a loss. He's still on his feet. Gets a block from Stelly. And he's pushed out of bounds on the Sulphur sideline. A flag will go down.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything malicious right there. The defender just kind of went off the field with Clark and wasn't able to keep from dragging him down.
Stelly was having a conversation with
Jacqueline
Washington.
Garrett McCain, Coach McCain gets him off the field. And, I know what Garrett's telling him, we just got a 15-yard penalty called on New Iberia, get off the field. And, the only thing you're going to do about all your job, because he went to go back, he was leaving the field and went to go back on the field. But the only thing that's going to happen right there is you're going to end up with offsetting penalties. So take the 15 yards that New Iberia gave us, and let's move to the next play.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line now after the 15-yard penalty. Porter back in the ball game for the Tours. As Clark in the shotgun. Will loft one to the end zone, and apparently Elliott turned the wrong way.
Yeah, Clark threw one route. Clark threw one route, and Elliott ran a different route. Elliott ran a little in right there, and Clark thought he was going to break it out.
So 2nd and 10 from the 16. With 2:09 to play. They do stop the clock. They let it run a bit in the third quarter. Three receivers will go out to the right. One here to the left. Porter in the backfield with Clark. Clark to throw. Throws it low for Porter coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, he was trying to hit Porter on that little wheel route right there. And what was interesting about that wheel route is they ran it to the short side of the field, and I think Porter was going to be out of bounds even if he had made that catch. So just didn't have a lot of room to kind of operate over there. And the defensive back did a great job of keeping Clark kind of pinned along the sideline where it was a very tough play.
So 3rd down and 10 from the 16. Again, 3 receivers to the right, one out here to the left. It's Porter lining up on the right side of Clark in the backfield. Clark gets the snap. He'll hand it to Porter. Cuts inside a couple of blocks. He's going to pick up at least 5, and that'll be about it to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, he had a nice cutback right there. I thought if he'd have hopped one more, though, he'd have had a lot more running room right there. But still a nice game, like you said, 5. It's going to bring up 4th and 5, and the Golden Tours are going to use another timeout right here to discuss this 4th down play.
It's their 2nd timeout. They have one left with 1:50 to go.
Well, a lot of people are thinking, wow, down 54-7, why are you calling a timeout? But as we mentioned, Coach Tower is working toward more later in the season and next week. So
working on next week. You're working on next season.
Especially missing spring practice, missing most of the summer, and then pretty much missing 6 to 7 weeks of the fall due to the 2 hurricanes. Just haven't had a lot of time on the field with the boys, and being a first-year coach and trying to get his program established. He's as he mentioned, he's looking. If you think about it, I know there's been a lot of substitutions, but it's a 7-7 second half score, and so Coach Tower is looking to end the game right here on something positive for the Golden Tours.
They'll send 2 receivers out to the right this time and 1 to the left. I guess you could say there are 3 over there.
Yeah, Gage Trahan split a little wide. Tight end.
Sulphur will call its final timeout.
Well, Trahan was having a little trouble figuring out where to get.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Trahan or Clark, though, but it's one they were trying to get Trahan shifted over and never quite got him. I don't think where Towery wanted him. So Towery, I think that's going to be Sulphur's last timeout as well.
Yeah,
so
I think it is.
That'll burn their third and final timeout of the second half.
Still 1:50 to go. On a 4th down and 5. Of course, New Iberia doesn't want to give up any more points. They've given up 7 here in the 4th. Sulphur scored on the first play of the 4th quarter. All right, Sulphur can't call timeout anymore. It's 4th and 5. Going to give it to Porter. Porter's got a long way to go, and he's not going to get there.
Right there. Nice job by number 53 for New Iberia, Jacqueline Washington. Because, Porter had some room to run out there, but like I say, he was on the wide side of the field. And as you mentioned, he seemed to be going a little more east-west than north-south. And that defensive player for New Iberia was able to track him down out there in the flats for a real nice open field tackle.
Was not able to turn the corner. That's 1st and 10, New Iberia at their own 10-yard line with 100 seconds left to play. They will hand it off.
I believe it may be number 29.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. I saw 9. That would be
Cedric
Moore.
Moore.
Yep, he'll pick up 3. Out to the 13-yard line.
I see number 17, Cole Navarre going into the ball game. He's listed as a sophomore wide receiver, but he's gotten quite a few snaps on the defensive side today. You see him going in once again.
2nd down and 7 with a minute to go. I'll have to run one more play after this one. Sulphur's got too many players on the field, I think. They're not going to throw the flag.
No, we actually only have 10 on the field.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're going to take a knee.
I think that's why they sent 19 back into the game.
Yeah.
When Navarre checked in, but they're going to take a knee, and that's going to bring it into the ball game.
Yep.
No, let's
54-7 will be the final in this one. And Sulphur will go to 2 and 3. New Iberia at 5 and 2, and I think that's the best team we've seen all year.
Yeah, that's by far, in my opinion, the best team we've seen yet this year.
Yep.
And
we didn't see Acadiana, who beat this team 47-10, but
like I said, the only thing just a little surprising is to me, and of course, maybe more credit to New Iberia, but it appeared the Golden Tours kind of came out flat today.
Yeah.
And but I think it was just more we didn't match up very well with their style of team that they had, and as Coach mentioned, missing one of our coaches, I think one of our coordinators, and also missing 2 offensive linemen. One offensive lineman basically calling in this morning sick, I guess you would say. Tonsillitis this morning. So
that's against a team this big. That's a big loss.
Yeah. So because we knew that defensive front was going to for them were going to give us some fits. So that's going to bring it in to Sulphur Homecoming 2020. Once again, congratulations to Miss Jill Broussard.
Yep.
Our homecoming queen. And, in the past, of course, we won't have any home games left. In the past, we always enjoyed interviewing the homecoming queen at one of the half times later on, but we won't be able to get that this year. But we're going to sign off here from Matt Walker Stadium. Stay tuned to our Facebook page. We expect to bring you the game next week from Shreveport, Louisiana, which will be regular season game number 6. And the Golden Tours missed an opportunity to get a big win and improve their playoff rankings tonight, but they'll be looking to close out the season next week and see if things are going to be good enough for the playoffs, Bruce.
If you can go 3-3, you'll be happy. You'll be happy. First-year head coach, a unbelievably bizarre season. I mean, Jill Broussard will never forget her homecoming queen night. That's for sure.
So we're going to sign off from Matt Walker Stadium for Bruce Merchant. I'm Don Martin in the Tornado Radio Network. We appreciate you tuning in today to the Golden Tours. And stay tuned this week. We'll have details for the game Friday night. See y'all then.